Hey there guys, it's Ashley Catalina back. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. Today I'm just going to do a random update and rambling type video. So first of all, I wanted to inform you all that I am a sociology major and a psychology minor, and it's so weird to think that next month I'm going to be living in a dorm. It's like really crazy. I am like super excited though, so wish me luck. So here's the other thing. I had a really weird dream last night. So one of my friends and I, in my dream, we went to like this haunted house, and apparently it was supposed to be like populated by like these ghosts, the people that lived in this house before. Well, I can't remember everything weird, but a lot of weird stuff happened. Like there was like this robot dog that like walked around, and then there were some things that were like meant to purposely scare you, like spiders that were meant to like jump out at you. Let's see. Oh yeah. So in one part of the dream, my friend and I were walking to go upstairs to the next level of the house, and this corridor or this pathway to go up the stairs, the stairwell, that's the word I'm looking for, stairwell, is like really narrow, so it's kind of a tight fit just trying to go up the stairs. But apparently the higher up you went into this house, the creepier it got. So eventually we got to this one room, and this room was apparently a little boy's room. All over the floor there were like dolls and stuffed animals, like Cabbage Patch dolls, just a bunch of old toys just kind of like strewn about the floor. It was like really messy. Like these toys were covered in dust, and you could obviously tell that they were old and aged. And then there was like a bed in the corner, and I had like blue bed sheets and everything. Well, apparently this was the room that belonged to a little boy that lived in this house. And then my friend and I were back downstairs with like the tour guide people who had explained all this to us beforehand, and all of a sudden it got really dark in the room, and in a chair I saw this little ghost boy, and we kept trying to get out of the room. Well, the front door was like it was like made like of glass, and it was a really fancy old house. It was a really nice house, but it was old, and we were having trouble trying to open up this front door. And so we looked at like the tour guide people, because there was like two of them, and they were like struggling with it too. One of the other workers was like laughing, because I guess this worker thought it was hilarious that we were struggling and definitely terrified, because we know that we saw a ghost. And, you know, this little robot dog started moving around on its own, and I guess this dude thought that, like, somebody else was trying to scare us, like, with the jumping spiders that were made to scare people who would go through this haunted house. But we were struggling to open up the door. And yeah, that's about it. That was my dream. It sounds really random, but overall, in this dream, my friend and I had gone to this old but very nice house that was apparently haunted by ghosts of a family who lived there prior, and I saw a ghost child. And it just was really weird. It was kind of creepy cool, but weird at the same time, and I don't know if there's any meaning behind this dream, but that was my dream. This is a story of something else really weird that happened to me recently. So I had a dream, and in this dream I saw a bobcat, and it tried to attack me, and there was something to do with the zombie apocalypse and trying to survive in this like underground bunker type place, and like all the wolves and the dogs and the bobcats were like evil or something. Well, anyways, I happened to come across, okay, so after fighting and dealing with the adult bobcat, I came across a baby, and I raised this kitten to kind of like defend me and protect me. Well, anyways, I dreamt of these bobcats, right? So I was talking to my dad the other day, and one of his work friends had told him that he actually saw a bobcat and a kitten, that he actually got it on film. I haven't personally seen the film yet, but apparently he got this on film of these bobcats walking around, and that's not even the weirdest thing. They were walking around in the town that I live in, and he got this on camera. So the fact that I dreamt this without knowing anything about it, I don't know if that's like some weird creepy premonition or what, but that's a weird little thing that happened, so yeah. So here's the other update for you. I have been considering making ASMR videos. If you don't know what they are, I highly suggest looking up some videos. But I do have some original characters that I want to roleplay as, and I want to cosplay as well. And so I'm seriously considering ASMR. I beg you guys not to judge me by my messy room in the background, but I really wanted to show off my outfit today because I was very proud of it. So I'm wearing my Otter Things t-shirt, and I put on this striped Hollister long sleeve shirt underneath it, and then these leggings, they're like rainbow and they have this weird pattern going on, and my vegan leather boots. I was just really proud of this outfit. So something else that happened recently. I watched Godzilla over the weekend. The new one, the King of the Monsters Godzilla. And I love that movie. I love the premise. But as I was watching, and you guys are going to probably laugh at me for this because it is a science fiction movie, but knowing my brain, I try to overanalyze everything. So in one part of this movie, they mention an oxygen destroyer. But you can't destroy an element, and oxygen is an element. So I was wondering, okay, how would an oxygen destroyer work? Is it a simplified title for this machine? Like an example of a simplified title would be like global warming. Well, global warming is a really simplified title. A better term for it would be global climate change. In the Godzilla movie, this oxygen destroyer machine was meant to destroy the oxygen within a 2-foot radius, I think it was, or something. And it was like a bomb type thing that was supposed to, it exploded in the ocean. But that also made me stop and think, because what molecules are in water? H2O. There's a hydrogen molecule and the oxygen molecules. 2 of them. 2. H2O. So if you were to destroy all the oxygen in this area, would that not affect the water in this area as well? Because if you're breaking apart the oxygen atoms and you break apart the oxygen from the hydrogen atom, it's no longer H2O. So how is that possible? I guess it's not. And I'm not a science nerd, but I was just sitting there thinking, how would that work? Is this even logical? Now, I must say that like Godzilla is obviously science fiction, and science fiction is a movie that is fictional based on science. So it makes sense that it would be a scientifically inspired thing to happen, but it's fiction. The fictional part of it is that it wouldn't really work. I don't know how an oxygen destroyer would even be possible, because you can't destroy an element. You could like break apart the molecules, but you can't destroy an actual element. Like, that's impossible to do. So that was some random little thoughts that went through my head when I was watching this Godzilla movie. Also, did you know that how big Godzilla is technically is scientifically impossible? Now don't get me wrong, as I said, I love the Godzilla movie. It's just a little weird thought that went through my head.